Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Weeny Issi Sport, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road. There's no votes this week because I just decided to do some new vehicles from the Casino DLC. But you can vote for the vehicles you want to see by clicking on the link in the description down below. And thank you very much for your comment. He is referencing my video that I put up about the Diamond Rewards program. There's been a lot of confusion around it, how to unlock different things, and when we get them, so you can check that video out if you so desire. So, yeah, anytime there's a DLC, I like to try to feature a few of the new cars the first week after it comes out, and then the weeks after that, for about a month, mods willing, I will be doing some of the unreleased vehicles, like the Hellion and things like that. Maybe the Dynasty, however you want to say it. Just some of the more fun, more unlikely, more off-roady type vehicles to see how they do. And then in about a month from now, we'll resume regular Will It Off-Road. In fact, that video is already done. We recorded it over a week ago. It was going to be today's video, but then the DLC dropped, and I decided, you know what, let's do new vehicles first. Ride that DLC hype train for all them views and all them massive YouTube dollars. All of like $2 I'll make off my Will It Off-Road video. Anyways, Weeny Issi Sport, fantastic car. If you haven't driven it yet, either buy it or find a friend who has it, because this is a great little car. I know it looks like I'm all over the place. It's because I am all over the place, because it's a little bouncy, a little bit, not too bad. A little bit of understeer, but it tends to be very abrupt in its direction changes. So you give it steering input, and it turns instantly. And this is, I mean, I've had this car very little, so getting used to it. This is the first time I've had it in the dirt. However, this thing has an amazing off-road traction loss number. I think 0.35 is what GTA's Sam Racing driver Bruffy1322 called it. And that's good. That's a very good number. And you can tell by how quick this thing's going up the mountain. I mean, look, there's the top. We're not at 2 minutes yet. Okay. Hi, hiker. Oh, that might have slowed us down by a tenth of a second. But this thing is fantastic. Look at this just go. Just doesn't even care that it's on a mountain. Just like, whatever. Look at this. Look at this. Just boom. Made that turn. It's the most graceful that turn's ever been made. Right up the side. And we are up. 2 minutes, 23 seconds flat. Will it off-road? Oh, yeah. Rally car. Better. And guess what? That makes it the new #1 land vehicle in Will It Off-Road. By 3 seconds, in fact. The Camacho held that title at 2:26 and some change. Well, now the Weeny Issi Sport. I think I called it Classic earlier. I'm sorry if I did. But Weeny Issi Sport is the new #1 out of 219 vehicles that we've tested so far in Will It Off-Road. Wow. And when in the sports category, it is 10 seconds faster than the #2 car in that category, which was the Revolter, also an all-wheel drive vehicle. So, wow. This thing's incredible. And here on the controlled descent, just as good. Well, it's a beautiful sunset. We actually had a late start to recording because it was raining. You probably noticed there was a little bit of rain. Don't honk at me, Commander. You probably noticed there was a little bit of rain as we began, but all the puddles are gone, so the roads and mountain are technically dry. Once the puddles vanish, it's dry, even if there's still sprinkling in game. But we do wait for the rain anytime we can, especially for the ascent. On the downhill, not so much, but look at this thing just tackle this mountain, though. I mean, there's a few little hiccups here and there, but nothing major. Never out of control at all, and I'm pushing hard. Like, there's been several times I've been full throttle, and that's rare on my controlled descents. I don't do that very often at all. Sometimes it's a pain, such as here, where, you know, I was a little too fast. I was really just pushing the car to find its limits at that point, though. Thought maybe I could get up in this really steep bit. Everybody in Discord was telling me what an idiot I was for making this choice, and I quickly agreed with them and found a new way around. But, you know, the control descent time isn't what matters. It's, you know, just showing off how easy it is to control. And, of course, you can check out an edition of Will It Off-Road that features all of our Discord banter. If you ask me, it's the better version of Will It Off-Road. It's a little bit longer, but it's better because you get to hear all the hilarity that was happening in the chat. plus get to see a few outtakes. And you can do that by becoming a channel supporter, either by, oh, what's all that dirt? Either by becoming a YouTube member, or a Twitch Prime, or just a Twitch subscriber, or a Patreon supporter. All three of those will give you access to the Vainglorious Supporters channel on our Discord server. And once a week, I post a link to an unlisted version of Vapid Offroad that is only for supporters. There's no ads on it. It's just my way of saying thank you and give you a little behind the scenes. Cut a little too far to the side. That was totally my fault, not the cars. That was all me. And however, that crash was Finn's fault. You don't hit the Willett Offroad vehicles, Finn. You know better. Anyways, Finn, the guy who's won Willett Offroad Bingo twice. He probably cheats. But we are down 2 minutes, 54 seconds as somebody's going flying off to the side. A couple people, and then I get rear-ended. So we are back at the top of Mount Chiliad. We waited for daylight, and we're on our way. And look at that. Pretty composed. A little bit of an issue, and then into a tree. As everybody else just goes sailing past me and on top of me. Once again, that was Finn hitting me. Hit another tree, but this thing does something really interesting. You'll notice a lot of times when it's going backwards down this valley, it just kind of spins around. Most of the time, that's the car doing that, not me. It just kind of wants to go forward when it's falling down a mountain. There seems to be an assortment of body parts now available for purchase on Mount Chiliad. Cheap deals. Look at that. Somebody's cars are shedding some serious parts. I think it's Commander. Oh, there's a newcomer to the Vainglorious Discord server and the live streams of the Willett Offroad videos, Dark Doctor. God, this thing is just taking a beating. We also had another guy, meme something Teo, and you'll see him here later on. And you'll even see him representing the Vainglorious crew car. Man, if you really want to impress me, show up in the Vainglorious crew car. You'll always instantly be my best friend for that. But look at this little car go. Landed on top of a freaking tropos and just barely bounced. You know, oh, a little bit of a traffic jam. I went through the tunnel upside down. Probably one of my better passages through that tunnel. Struggled a little bit to get it rolled back over, but nothing too terribly bad here. It is quite the traffic jam on the mountain, though. I think we had 7 total people in the lobby when we were recording, which I think is a new record for Willett Offroad. Love to see this become so popular. There's like 30 people, and 30 people trying to get up to the top of the mountain. Oh my God, can you imagine that nightmare? But we are down 1 minute, 53 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage on the Weeny Issi Sport. It is missing most of its windows. Only one headlight. The trunk and the right door are gone. The left door won't close, and there are some slightly bent wheels. And of course, we will take a look at the damage as best we can. There's a bit of a traffic jam. But there's all the other vehicles that came down the mountain with me, and they're banged up as well. But that brings us to our next vehicle, the Vapid Caracara 4x4. Are you sensing a casino theme here? Because I sure am. So I'm going to say right at the outset, I love this truck. Despite what you're going to see in this video, I love this truck, and it is a good off-roader. And you know what? Did I make the Caracara 4x4 review with the test scores? Maybe so. Couldn't have had a more timely comment. And of course, that was on one of my hidden/unreleased vehicles videos. But yeah, I definitely took this thing off-roading. As you can see, and this isn't the first time I took it off-roading. Right after I bought it on the live stream last week, like at 4 in the morning, I took the Caracara off-roading, and it's good. However, there are some issues. One, all-wheel drive in GTA means understeer, period. It just does. They don't really have a way to get around that because Rockstar doesn't have, you know, a diff lock option. You know, if it did, I think we would see a lot of that dealt with. But, you know, this isn't a racing simulator, you know, so that's fine. I'm okay that GTA doesn't have that. But it does mean all-wheel drive cars are going to suffer from understeer. Two, that understeer kind of gets you into trouble sometimes. I was turning as much as I turn any vehicle there, but I guess due to the length of the truck and how fast I was going, just ran into problems. Thought I could claw my way back up, because I've climbed some pretty steep rocks in this thing. Realized I couldn't, and this is costing us a lot of times. I'm going to have to very carefully back up so that I can get back up here. I know that it'll get back up this, no problem at all. And it does, and I think that speaks very highly of its off-road capabilities. But now I've got to get turned around because I'm a little high-centered. Everybody else is up ahead of me. Another issue that this truck runs into, I guess we could call it the Rumpo syndrome. It has a lot of body roll. You'll see that come into play even more in the controlled descent. But the body roll just makes it a little difficult to keep it under control. Factor in all of that and the fact that it seems every once in a while I want to spin its wheels instead of finding grip. And I don't know what its off-road traction loss is, but I suspect it's not very good. Because you can tell it's just struggling to get speed. You can hear the different times that I'm just really on the throttle, and it just doesn't seem to want to go. So because of that, where the little sports car was already at the top of the mountain, we're just now catching a glimpse of the top of that mountain. So not going to be the best of times for the Caracara. And this is going to be one of those exceptions where a vehicle goes over 3 minutes, but I would still heartily recommend it for off-roading purposes because it is a good off-roader. You just have to go a lot slower than you can go in a lot of vehicles. Keep that in mind in this car or in this truck, and you'll be fine. Oh, there we go. Definitely killed one, got the other. I'm pretty sure whoever's behind me took care of him. I think it's Commander directly behind me. He usually manages to find that first spot coming up right behind me. He's an old pro at this, though. However, look at that. Right up the side of the mountain. No problem. And that's why this thing is great at off-roading. Random helicopters at the top. We're at the top to join them. 3 minutes, 12 seconds. So will the Caracara 4x4 off-road? Yeah, it will. Ignore that time it guy. It's just trying to run up at a speed challenge is not its best. And wow, what's under my truck? Anyway, time to take it back down the mountain and look at this collection of cars up here. I love it. Pretty much the last two DLCs fully represented there. Pretty awesome. It takes longer to record when you have a lot of people because if people fall off the mountain, you got more people to wait for and all that. But let me say, as long as we can fit people up the mountain, come join us if you play on PC. We tend to record every Sunday afternoon around 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time, wherever that may be. Use a time converter. You can see here the rolly suspension. That's what started this problem, was the rolly suspension, by the way. And it just kept rolling. But look what it can do. It finds a grip and it goes up. You just, again, with this truck, you can't go fast off-roading. You just can't. And that's kind of what Will It Off-Road is a speed Will It Off-Road test. It's not a full comprehensive off-roading test, rock climbing, water, all that. I've never pretended that this is that. But look at that body roll. But anyways, if you play on PC and you're available on Sunday afternoons, join our Discord server and join our game. Love to have you, as long as you can abide by just a couple rules. One is don't block the guy recording the video, Commander. Come on. Yeah. But it's a lot of fun to have a lot of people. I enjoy it. I think it makes for a better video. You get to see yourself in a YouTube video, even if just briefly, show off your cars. And hang out, and we do have a lot of fun. We laugh a lot during the recordings of these videos, and you will too. Anyway, Caracara, gonna get in a little bit of trouble here with the body roll. You can see the front end came back up. I couldn't steer to avoid that rock, and over we went. And at this point, landed it, so I'm just gonna pretend none of that ever happened, and drive over here to where we were gonna go down anyway, and just resume on my way. But you can see this thing bucking around quite a bit too. It's just a lot of play in that suspension. I almost wonder if this truck wouldn't benefit from lowering the suspension 1 or 2 levels, because it's going to roll here in just a second. Just because I turn in too tight. I forget where it happens. I know it's here in just a second though. There, it's came over on me. I was trying to, steer to the left because the trail does go to that left there for a second, even though at the very end it goes to the right. And it just rolled. It was too much of a change in direction, too sudden, and Gene Rumpo would ride over. and nearly did it again, but I had a shacknator in my way, so I had to hit the brakes. But we are down 2 minutes, 48 seconds as yet another vehicle goes flying over the edge. Almost landed it, Commander. So, as a challenge is being issued to us, and as night is falling, sorry for the nighttime recording, but we had already waited so long for weather and doing daily objectives and all that, that I just decided to go ahead and do a nighttime recording. So, I know it's a little hard to see on mobile phones. I'm very sorry about that. You know, I try to avoid nighttime recordings when possible. But we had already been at it an hour and a half. I really didn't want to wait a whole another in-game night to pass just to record one damage descent. So that's why we're at nighttime. But you can still see it's quite the melee happening here. Everybody bouncing off everybody else. I've already lost the taillight. Of course, we lost 3 doors even before we started this ordeal going back down. So thanks, Finn. I needed that little left tap. Got myself a Paragon in the way, just shoved it right on. The Paragon down there almost got rolled onto, but managed to escape. Tailgate's now busted, even though it hasn't broken off. It won't close anymore. Shrin's looks like his is in about the same shape as mine. Got a little too much speed there. Managed to just go over the railroad tracks, so sure, why not? Nobody managed to get hit by the train, though, so that's a good thing. Shacknator managed to be underneath me. I love the damage descent when there's a lot of people. I absolutely do. It can look absolutely frustrating, but it's a lot of fun. It really is. Poor Shaq. Knocked him all the way up under the thing, and I can't get out, and finally got moving forward through the last tunnel, coming up here by the woodpile, managed to nail yet another Paragon, I think it was. Ow! Bit of a crash here at the end, left me in kind of a predicament. So doing the best I can to just get away from that, get turned around, and get all the way to the actual finish line. Just realized the bumper's hanging off there, and I don't think I have that in the damage description. But we're down. With most of the windows, all the lights, most of the doors gone, the left and rear door, or the left rear door, and the tailgate won't close, and it has bent wheels. And that is a look at all the vehicles that accompany me down. Again, I'm sorry for the nighttime shot. I know it makes it harder to see, but everybody took a pretty big beating, it looks like. But that's going to do it for this week's Will It Off-Road. Next week, we'll most likely include some of the unreleased vehicles, if I can get the mods up and running properly. If not, well, then we'll figure out something else with some of the other new DLC cars. But don't forget to go vote for the vehicles that you want to see featured in upcoming Will It Off-Road videos. And don't forget to click the link in the description down below to play Will It Off-Road Bingo. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.